How does it happen? There's this roll of black thread we call filament, and then there's this gizmo, and then there's a mini robot, and then there's a part. It's not magic. It's engineering. X, Y, and Z pushing the melted plastic out like toothpaste in a tiny dribble and running around, leaving streaks of plastic behind the nozzle, moving up 1, maybe 2 millimeters at a time and building a next level. And that level is defined by the shape that's required, whether it needs a cavity or a wall or whatever. Like building a log cabin with logs, only the logs are poured out as melted wood. Oh, there's an idea. Anyway, I'm building this one for Gil. I've had 3 built. The one on the right is an older unit. This one here is a more redesigned unit, and I'm building it in carbon fiber PETG. This will take about an hour and a handful of material. And I also have some carbon fiber PLA coming. PLA is a little easier on the printer, and it will have 50% chopped, or is it 5? I forget. It's a smaller percentage of chopped strand fiber, so it will be a little less strong, but the printer is working beautifully on putting together the parts in a very solid and structured way. The Clipper firmware has made a dramatic improvement in this old dog, and I am thrilled. I did put the linear rails on, but something isn't quite right. We're going to be on the phone later with the company that supplied them. Oh, and you see that red thing there? That replaces the springs. So I now have a solid bed mount and linear rails on the Y. And you know, we're coming along. We're coming along. Okay, I'm just showing you how things get done. This is going to take about an hour. Meanwhile, I'm going to go work on my layout because I have a power problem. I've got every loop on the train tied to one outlet, and I don't know how I did it, but I'm going to have to undo it. I'm going to use 2 transformers and figure this thing out, okay? Meanwhile, it's going to print. And then later today, I might have a little conference call with the Tiny Machines to make sure I did everything correctly, and I might have to ask them to see if they can super tune my Clipper, because I'm not a Clipper super tune guy really, and poor Andy is just booked. He is really busy. Besides, he's in Africa. What could he do? He does get online. He can do a lot, but I hate bugging him so much. At any rate, I'll post this as a here's how things get done, 3D printing in the reel, and what we're gonna get, and what we have, and how it starts, and how did it get from there to there is pretty simple. I wake up my computer. There's the part in Fusion. Fusion is a design tool that allows you to create all the shapes. I mean, just anything. You start by creating a shape, and then you modify that shape and add to it. You can put in radiuses, you can put in holes, you can put in countersinks, you can put in cavities, you can put in threads. In this case, I put in a mini electric motor with a fan, and the fan pulls air in through these openings on the side. You can see that. If I do this, wrong way. If I do this and this, do that, now do that, now do this, now do section analysis and select that view to start with, I can pull this out and look and watch when I go in. There's where the electric motor is, and the fan blade. Now the fan blade is pulling from the center and pushing in the top. It's pulling from the... Now the center suddenly opens into 2 air vents on the side. So the fan pulls air in from the side and pushes it into the top hole. The top hole feeds into the smoke chamber. In the smoke chamber, there's packing soaked in oil with a hot coil hanging down. And the hot coil creates a boiling temperature for the oil, and smoke boils off. The smoke then is pushed out that hole at the top. That hole at the top, right there, is connected to some other holes. The hole at the bottom is actually a drain that runs from the very tip top, from way up here, all the way down to here, and that's how we get oil into the bottom through this hole. Here is the outlet for smoke. It'll go out this way, and it can go out this way, right or left, you choose. You plug the one you're not using. We continue down. There's the cavern. There's how the smoke comes out. It's angled and goes up a little bit. There's the drop down for the oil. When the oil is put in, it comes right down that tube. And there is the end. The end. Oh, I must have made a hole in the end. Did you think I did that? Oh, maybe I did for a straight end. Oh, I had an idea. Someone was thinking about putting this on a different type of machine. Oh, I did put a hole in the straight end. Okay, so that's another smoke opening. If you don't use this, you have to plug it. If you use this, you take a tube and stick it in there and run a hose. Or you can use this hole, or you can use that hole. You can use this hole too, but then you have to worry about how am I going to get the oil in, right? These holes on top are what hold the smoke housing PCB, the smoke lid. It screws into here, it hangs down a coil, and it has a cutout for this, and then it bolts down, and it has the power regulator stuff over on the side. So that's how this baby gets built and gets made. It comes over here, not to here, it comes over to here. It comes into something like this, and this is the slicer. This creates that 3D CAD and turns it into layers, and you can actually see the layers. You can play it like a movie if you want. You can see it getting built up. There's where the printer is. That's how it's going to do it. You have infill, you have skin, you have layers, you have voids. There's the opening now for the smoke. The inlet is getting built. There's the inlet hole. The fan is fitting here. So it's going to... Now that inlet's closed. Now this is the outlet. So the fan is sitting here. It's now sucking air in here, pushing the air out through here, and this is all getting... There's the outlets, there's the screw holes, and now the very tip top. So that's how this thing is going to get built, one layer at a time. That's how it happens. It's pretty amazing. And all the way, you're watching what you have. Several ways to look at things. This is the code that runs the machine. This is actually the machine, they call it the config file. You can change these parameters and affect the performance of your system. A lot of times you'll do a test. You'll print something and look at it, and from that you'll come in here and change things. Or you may measure something with calipers and get a dimension or get a width or height or something like that, and you can come in here and change a parameter, and the machine will adjust to that. That's pretty much... This is the magic. This isn't magic, but it's the key to getting to the magic, if you might say that. Okay, so I'm going to put this up for grins, so you know what we do or what I do when I'm not doing something. I'm printing parts. This is printing parts. This is what this is. Okay, I'm going to go work on my track later.